What's up, guys? Mr. Wicked Shot back again here with another reaction video. And for today's video, we'll be reacting to the Bodycam footage, the new one that got released, that details the George Floyd arrest. And um, this will be an example of why I had to walk away from the left, and shows the real deception by the left as to how they go about getting their end goal, which is to control the way you view, control the way the public react to certain things, right? This is what this is about. This is not about um exonerating the cops and saying, oh, see, they didn't really do anything wrong or anything like that. No matter which video they come out with, they're still wrong and they still deserve to get, charged, and I would see, treated as any other murder would have been treated. That won't change no matter how, because at the end of the day, they still kill this guy. Whether they didn't do it on purpose, they still did it because they didn't like stop when they knew it was about to get bad. So this is not about like exonerating the cops. As I see it. This is about media manipulation and deception. The dirty, dirty tactics that they've been using for generation to control and keep black people feeling indebted to them. And this is gonna show how they do that. I'm gonna explain by this video how they did that. Because when the first video came out showing the situation and what happened with George and the officers, they for that video started off with from the worst part of the video. They started off from pretty much right where he's close to already dead. He's on the ground with the cop kneeling on his neck for like, um, what they say, like 8 minutes, but they didn't show anything before that. So, and why they did that as well is because I'm pretty sure they had the whole video. This thing didn't just come out of nowhere. There's no way CNN and any other left media didn't have the whole video. Um, but they specifically wanted to change and control the way you feel at the end of the video, at the end. If they want you to feel like somebody's after you, or cops out there just trying to kill you, or they want you to feel like majority of the white people out there just racist and trying to hunt you down and kill you, just find a video that will help drive that message home and show the worst part of it. And they won't think twice. The rest will be history, and it's discussing tactics, right? Because when I first saw the video, it was around the time where I was already in a volatile state, the first one. And when I saw that video, it was hard to watch because I'm like, it only made me feel even more enraged and more um, paranoid than I was already feeling before, based on you couldn't get onto the news and CNN or whatever without seeing something that's showing you that this person is racist and trying to kill you. It's like all they do is show you the worst and the worst of the world, so that you feel in fear and that you feel like you can't leave your home. So I was already in a bad state mentally, right? So by the time I saw this video, and I'm like, yep, cops again trying to kill people for no reason, just hunting down people. That's what they wanted us to feel anyway, by using that last minute of the clip instead of showing the whole thing. Because they don't want you to think and process and just like, come to your own conclusion. Because if they show you the whole video, that's what might happen. You're gonna feel like well, you know what? He was already like complaining and resisting, in the video, the full one, which I'll show. He was already like complaining that he couldn't breathe from what was in his first car. It shows that the cops were being very cordial and respectable when they were dealing with the other passengers as well, and they weren't like just going out of the way to try to kill him. Like it completely didn't show that, right? It showed that George was already pretty high and he was complaining about he can't breathe before they even got him to their vehicle. When because of course it was high and whatever it was on, so he was already complaining saying he can't breathe and he's claustrophobic. And when they got him to their vehicle, and they had to like keep telling him, in commands over and over again before he started listening to them. And he was just basically being very resistant from the beginning. When no matter what they try to do, there's a point where they're trying to put him in the car and he's telling them like, "Don't leave me, I can't breathe, I don't want to go in there." And they're like, "We'll wind down the window." And even when they said that he's still like being resistant, and just being difficult for the most part. But of course, it's high, so that makes sense. But when you see the whole thing, it doesn't play into the narrative that they tried to let you feel by showing the end clip where I felt was like these cops just went out of their way to find some, just look for a black dude and kill him. That's what they wanted to do, and that's why people were so angry and upset when they seen it because nobody's gonna see that the cops were innocent or didn't do anything wrong even after watching the video, the full video. But they should have never tried to change anything, and that's what they try to do by only giving you a portion of the video. They want to control the way you think and feel about the whole situation, right? It's just a dirty mind trick, right? If you want to control the way the public react and feel about certain things, to achieve the end goal, just use clever editing, right? Like it makes me sick because if you want them to think that hey, cops are racist and all white people are racist, just show them a video or a footage of something that will help drive that message home, right? And that way, once the people react the way you want them to react, now you can come out like white knights, and start to sympathize with them and denounce it, after you know what you did and why you did it, and you say, yeah, see, we Democrats, when we're against this police brutality and the oppression, they want black people to feel, like we're still in the 50s, that we can't leave the home without getting killed and hunted down, and that's why they keep only showing those type of stuff. You hardly ever see them showing the emphasis on black and black crime, or white and white crime or anything like that, because it doesn't fit the narrative of racist cops and racist white people and systematic racism in full swing. It doesn't fit it. They're trying to drive fear and panic and depression and stuff, so that whenever we start to feel that way, they just come out and just sympathize and say we denounce this without doing anything tangible. All they got to do is say they denounce, and black people in the community like, see, the Democrats understand, they're with us, and they're like, yeah, 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 we're with you, we're against racism, even though they hold some of the biggest racists you can find in any party. Like just check back on some of the stuff Joe Biden has said himself in his past. But yeah, who is racist? The conservative, the Republican. Look at them. They're not denouncing this stuff. They're not doing that. Yeah, that's why you guys need to stay with us and vote for us. That's all they've been able to keep black people indebted to them for so long. Because all you have to do is just sympathize and pat them on the back, and they're like, see, look at them. Now they're just going, no, they're going to be on our side because all we had to do was you know, just edit, just do a few clever editing, and sympathize with them, even though we're racist ourselves. Just sympathize with them, just tell them, oh, it's not okay, and the rest is history. And I'm like, it's dirty, dirty tactics, because of this now, because the full footage being out, people are going to start like, a lot of people are going to be like swinging on where they stand and how they felt, like, and it's going to make, it's just going to pretty much destroy whatever they were trying to do. Because right, the first thing is, if this was just the only clip, the one that they put out first, then the officers probably would have just got their second degree charge, probably would have just stick and stayed on them. But because it just paints a picture of, yeah, it looks like they just went out their way to try to kill him. But with the new footage, it's gonna make the defense of the officers even be able to prove for themselves that, hey, see, they wasn't trying to kill him. Yeah, he killed him involuntarily, but they wasn't actively went out of the way to try to kill him. Like, he was already complaining that he couldn't breathe. It also showed that the officers that was there wasn't all into it actively like a group say, oh, let's go kill this dude, because you can see one of the officers that while Chavez had his knee on his neck was saying, and was saying, hey, should we turn him on the other side, because it was starting to get a bit concerned for him complaining that he can't breathe, and it was asking the other officers, because that shows a level of human that they make them seem like they wasn't even human, like demonizing all of them and get us to demonize Al-Cap because that's what they want. They wanted a way to get people to demonize Al-Cap and to get the country in disarray and chaos and having people feel like, oh, there's a race war going on and that you guys still being systematically held back and that it's because of the Republicans, they're all for this and all that stuff. And that's the best way to do it. Just change the context, just do a little bit of clever editing. And because of that, they got me to such a messed up place, bro, where when I saw that, I never came into the country racist. But after seeing the constant videos of situation that helps you feel like you're being hunted down and you're being oppressed, you're gonna start hating people. And I started hating cops. I hated all white people. I literally hated anybody that didn't stand with me and stand with the Democrats or stand with the defund the police mob and all that stuff. Like I was so much full of hate. I was full of hate to the core, man. And I'm like, I didn't come into the country like that. I never came like that because and the reason why that's a fact is because I never had any bad interaction with cops. And I said it in my last video. Ever since I came in the 10 years, all of them was been good and cordial. And you can see in this new video that the cops, for the most part, were being cordial at the start, right, and everything. But yet after just being, if you just keep showing somebody the worst of the worst of a certain people or a group over and over again, even if they never had any bad experience, it's going to start weighing on them and they're going to start feeling a little bit hateful and resentful. And that's why I started to feel in the way I did in my, before I got help, and I'm like, that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. And unless we put the message out and call out these leftist media for their bullshit, and for them playing people and use the most deceptive, it's brilliant, but it's a dirty, dirty way of mind control to come to control people's outcome and reaction to certain things in a way that you want them to react. So let's watch this video and see if you guys agree. And this will help you understand how they've been able to keep the black support and keep us feeling indebted to them, but not me anymore. Like, you guys full of shit. And you got to put a stop. You got to stop it. And eventually, the more people start seeing you guys for who you are, that's why there's a mass exodus and so many people leaving the left to come to the right because they're seeing what's going on. So let's check this video out.
I see your hands. Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please,
Both hands. Put your hands off right now. Let me see your other hand. Put your hand up there. Put your hand up there. Hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel. Both in the car. Put your foot back in.
God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way as I was before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your hands up. Got them?
Man, dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Last time I got shot like that was I was
Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm going to get out of man. Please don't shoot me, man. Please, man. I just lost my mom, man.
Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Please. Don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
You're not shooting me, man?
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face away.
Okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, I didn't know.
Right now.
Stop moving. Got your back then. I'm not going to do nothing.
Things are wrong.
Hey, you come back. Stay in the car. Stop resisting, man. Yes, you are. Stand up.
Against the wall. Yes.
What I do?
We're figuring out what's going on. Drop the bag.
Figure out what's going on.
Adam,
What's your problem?
Said something to him. It ain't us.
we was getting a ride.
I just got my phone fixed. It's my ex-man.
Adam know me.
That's my ex.
Are you good?
He keeps telling me, get my car.
That's it, man.
Well, they
You
got
can ask
some Floyd.
Get ID.
You can ask Mr. Adam about me.
Do you have ID?
I'm on 38 years old.
Ask Mr. Adam about me, sir. I just came to buy the tablet, and when I bought the tablet, it didn't
Oh
work.
my God. He didn't even do nothing.
Sir.
You have ID?
No, I don't. My name's Shawan Hill. No.
Sir.
Okay.
I just came over to get my phone to see I don't have a purse or nothing. And my daughter is on her way to get me.
What's the deal?
I don't
Adam
know.
knows me, sir.
That's my ex. I don't know.
Why is he getting all squirrely and not showing his hands and just being all weird like that?
Because he's been shot before. He don't
Well, I
want
get that, but still, when officers say get out of the car,
going
is he drunk? Is he on something?
Oh, he got a thing going on. I'm telling you about
What
the
does that mean?
police. He have problems all the time when they come, especially when that man took that gun like that. It's been one.
What's your first name?
He's pretty good.
What is it?
He's a good guy. George Floyd, he said.
Oh, ouch,
What, are you on something right now?
No, nothing.
You acting erratic. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier.
Let's go.
All right, let me come on down. This is looking better now.
Keep walking.
Okay, come. One favor, man.
No, we get to the car. Let's get to the car. Come on.
Dang. Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man. Leave me, man.
Here. I want to watch that car too, so get a miss.
Stand up. Stop going down. Stay on your feet and face the car door.
You get a seat on him?
Please, get out the door, man. I don't want to talk to you, man. Please, let me talk to you, please. You ain't listening to nothing. I know. We're not going to listen to nothing you're saying.
Can you watch that car? Just make sure no one goes in it.
I hear you, but you're going to face the door right now.
Listen up. Stop.
I don't do anything. That's anything y'all telling you, man. I'm not a musician, man. I'm not. You can ask him. He know me, you
Check
know.
that sign.
God, man, I'm going to do nothing like that, y'all. Why is it going on like this? Look at my wrist, Mr. Officer. I'm not that kind of guy.
What is that?
Stop, I'm not that kind of guy.
Stop.
Please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please.
Face away.
Hey, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Well, you're still going in the car.
Anything sharp on you? I won't do nothing to hurt y'all, Mr. Officer. No, sir. Nothing. Why y'all doing me like that, Mr. Officer? Please, crack it for me and stuff, man. I am claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Can you please crack it for me, please?
Yes, I'm
Remember my
cracking.
name. Stay
I
with me,
will.
man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. Wow, man. None of y'all, man. Nothing.
You got it?
Inside in your pocket real quick. I'm listening. And I understand that people do stuff.
Alright, he's good. This one's gone.
Okay.
Grab a seat.
I'll
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Please don't take a seat. I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going to go in. No, you're not. I gotta go in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat.
Mine, I don't believe me, Mr. Officer. Take a seat. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man. Take a seat. Y'all, I'm gonna die here. Take a seat. I'm gonna die, man. You need to take a seat right now. And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that.
Okay, I'll roll the windows down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down and
Please,
you put
man.
your legs in, alright? I'll put the air on.
Stop. Look at that. Look at this. Now you're listening. Look at it. We can fix it, but not while you're standing out. Okay, man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to them.
I'll roll the window down.
Man, I'm scared. When I start breathing, it's going to go up on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
Okay. Let me count to three. And I'm going in. Please, I'm not trying to win. I get on the ground, anything. I can't stand this, man. He know it. You get in this car. talk. I'm claustrophobic. I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me. God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Well, that's one over here. I'm going to pull you
Get
in.
in the car. In the front. No, you're not getting in the front. I'm claustrophobic. I get in the car. Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Oh, God. Man, open my nose. Please, officer. Please, please. Take a seat. Please, man. Please. No, officer. Take a seat. I can't joke. I can't breathe, officer. Please. Please. Fine. My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. I can't take this, man. I can't. And I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground.
Get in the squad.
I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground. I'm going down. Going down. Going down.
Get in the squad.
Going down. I know I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah, yeah, that messed up. That messed up. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. If this changes the your perspective. Like for me, it changes the narrative that they were trying to give. That they want you to feel like yeah, cops just went out of the way to try to kill this dude, and you watch this whole thing and it's the opposite. I didn't get the feeling from watching it like the cops went out of the way to try to kill this dude. You can see where they're trying, but they didn't do the they're trying to do the job, but they didn't do a good job at it. You can see that one of the cop at least showed some kind of humanness to him by showing some concern for Joy's situation by asking if he wants to move him to a different side. He should have been a lot more stern in going about it, but I guess it just wasn't brave enough to do it. But it definitely doesn't make it seem the way I felt when I saw it the first time. Like these cops went out of the way to try to kill him. Like for all we know, when him being that high and whatever it was on, he was probably going to OD even if it was in the car because of him feeling claustrophobic and already seeing that he can't breathe before he got on the floor. But putting him on the floor with your knee on his neck don't freaking help, man. Like you're not doing yourself any. It just didn't make any sense. Like if somebody's saying they can't breathe, you know, even before you got them to that position, then you just still freaking you don't want him to die on your watch. So your brain should be saying, you know what, this not gonna be a good look. So you know what, let me just sit him up or something like that, and just let him stay there till the ambulance come instead of keeping your knee on his neck for 8 minutes. Like that's where they're still like literally wrong. But the point is at the media. This is target to the media, the left media. Just show people the whole thing and let them still decide on their own whether they think our cops are racist because that's what you want them to think, or whether the cops went out of the way. Give them the whole thing. And like I come back to my main point, the only reason why they wouldn't show and allow you to see the whole thing is because they don't want you to think for yourself. And that kind of confirm a lot of the thing that people on the say about the left is that they don't support free thinking. They don't want you to think for yourself and um you know just taking the time to think. If you look at what Joe Biden said in one of his interviews, saying just by simply saying if you don't support him, are you even black? There's no logical like, oh, think about what we, remember we did this, remember we did that. No thinking. So it's basically I said, don't even think. If you're black, you should vote me. That's how it always been. That's how it should be, and that's how they've been able to keep the blacks in feeling indebted to them for decades, and it needs to stop. All they do is just sympathize. That's all they do is sympathize and try to like point out stuff on the other side and say, "Hey, look at what he did. He's not calling out this. He's not calling out that." When they're using the most dirty form of mind control to get us to feel like we're stuck in the 50s and to keep us feeling like we're living in fear, and then all they have to do is come out and look like white knights, and demonize the other side while knowing that they are just as evil and vile as anybody. Not every side is just completely human and perfect. There's evil and there's extremists on both sides. There's extremists on the right and there's extremists on the left. So give people the full information and let people use their own thoughts and their own feeling and decide, okay, yeah, this cop was, these cops are trying to kill us and the racist, and not trying to lead us to feeling that way to get the war that you want. I'm not gonna buy into it, and a lot of people are wising up to you guys' bullshit, and it's only going to end badly for you because the more people see shit like this and seeing that they're being programmed and being played, because that's all they've been doing is playing the black community. You're not going to play me anymore. I got a brain and I like to use it, and I'm going to use it every time. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the video and how you think about the tactics that they're trying to use and if it changed your perspective on anything. So that's me for today, and hope y'all have a good one, and I see you in the future. Peace.